Good on New Zealand. Welcome to Food Chain Live. My name is Matt Drake. This is episode 152. And yeah, it's going to be a good one. Good evening to my co-host, Morgan Harfeld. Good evening, Morgan.
Hey, Matt. And as you said, it's going to be a good one. Welcome to the episode, guys, and good to be back for another week on the show. How you doing this week, bro?
Yeah, good. Managed to get out and play some disc golf this week. Very pleased with myself. Shot 3 under at Hardcore Park, which was good enough for a 930 rating, which thank you very much. I'll take.
There you go.
Really only screwed up one hole, and then splashed out on another one. So it could, and that one hole really is a hole that everybody should birdie, but I took a bogey on it. So
isn't that the way, though? Isn't that the way?
It is, unfortunately. And then if those 3 shots had materialised, the bogey to birdie and then the splash out, then you never know. It could have been 6 under, which would have been really something special, at least for me, anyway. Anyway, we've got a great
time.
Until next time, indeed. We've got a great show for this week. Not least, we're doing a giveaway today, Morgan.
Yeah.
Which is the you'll remember last week, over the last week, we hit the 300 subscriber mark, and so this week we're doing a giveaway. Morgan, what do people need to type in the chat if they want to be involved in the giveaway?
Oh, jeez, way to put me on the spot here. Let's just throw it back to last weekend, and please type in the chat smash.
Okay, there we go. Type the word smash into the comments to get yourself into the thing. We actually, that's a very good question from Anthony. Morgan, you mentioned that you would be coming live from your ice bath.
Hang on a minute. No. Let's just get the story straight. You said I'd be coming live from the ice bath. If you want to have a one-on-one video ice bath chat with me, I'll do that with you. I don't know how the people will feel about, me and my whole body showing on camera for the world to see. At least not on my private Facebook or Instagram. One-on-one. Let's do that.
Okay. Right. So whilst people have smashed the smash on
they have. I'm just looking at that.
There's heaps of people who have done it. But anyway, what are they going to win? Because actually, this is a bit of a special one. Because we're going to do 2 draws. There's 2 prizes up for grabs today,
Yes,
not just the one. So first up, the first prize, which I should be giving away, is this. Several of you, I'm sure, throw a Gatekeeper by Westside. What I have here is a prototype Gatekeeper, right? So this the Gatekeeper from Westside was released in 2018. It was approved late 2018, so 2019 is when it probably went on sale. This is a prototype, so one of the first that came out.
That's awesome.
That's before first runs. It's the one that they do, and they hand them out to team members to test and all that kind of stuff.
What's the numbers on a Gatekeeper if you've got them on the
I want people in the chat will know better. 4-5 -1 0.
Okay.
It's a West Side sort of. I want to say a West Side Buzz, Mako 3. It's that kind of straight mid range. If you're after something like that, so yeah, get involved. A prototype Gatekeeper could be on your way to you. Morgan, what's the second prize?
Yeah, so it's pretty awesome. Someone's going to take away that prototype Gatekeeper. I love having prototype discs in my collection that is surrounding me, which you can't see. But I'm going to give away a custom generation shirt, so you can see that I'm wearing my Japan Open one right now. I will create something cool for you. So I will wait and see who the winner is, and I will custom design it around you.
This is awesome because I've also ordered one of these shirts. I can't win tonight, obviously, but I've ordered one of them. I actually can't wait for it to arrive. So yes, hopefully the winner and I will be able to look very good in our Generation Disc Golf.
Oh, you'll definitely look fantastic, team.
Absolutely. Right. Now, so here's how the show's going to go. First up, we're going to go through some hot scores from around the country, and there's some interesting ones, especially in relation to what's going on this weekend in Taupo. Then we're going to have a look at the results of the Southern Smash, which was last weekend, and break down who had good weekends and who wished that they could do it again. And then we're going to have a look at the upcoming Seafarer, because there's 3 tournaments on this weekend, right? There's the Seafarer, there's obviously the Taupo Classic from the Tour Down Under, and there's the Midsummer Madness, is it called? I want to get this right. For all the people
who Midsummer's Dream, but that's not right.
A Midsummer's Dream, of course, the Shakespeare reference. Why didn't I get the Shakespeare reference? Being an Englishman, I'm ashamed of myself. That's all occurring this weekend. So we're going to have a look at the Seafarer and Midsummer's Dream before Corey Ellis joins us a little bit later on. He's going to be dialing in a little bit later tonight than
9:30. Is that correct?
About 9:30, I think. I think he's having a feed after a long day.
Fair enough.
So we'll let him enjoy his food, and then we'll get to that. So Morgan, how about you take us through the South?
Well, it just so happens I have the hot scores right here in my hot little hands. We're going to start off in the Deep South in Queen's Park, and we've got Mr. Phil Bother of Christchurch, who's been touring the Lower South Island for the last 2 weeks. He hasn't been home since Roxburgh. He shot an 11 under 46 at Queen's Park this week to take down the title. Mr. Jens Moeller takes down Chingford with a 21-7 under par, and then we've also got Jens Moeller again and Phil Bother again, both shooting a 25-4 under par at Brockville this week. Queenstown Gardens and Tucker Beach is held down by the Stiffmeister. He shot a 45-12 under par at the Gardens and a 53-7 under par at Tucker's. That's some hot shooting out there. Over into Wanaka, we've got Ely Point, and we're going to go with Lismore as well, because both of them taken down by Inchy. 21-6 under par at Ely Point and 46-9 under par at Lismore. Moving on up to Christchurch, we've got Jelly Park, and Jasper Vandermeer is a 41-13 under winner for the week. Ascot Park, and we've got Jamie with a 57-1 under par. Queen's Park Reserve. And we've got Malcolm and Michael Roberts on a 25-2 under par. And finishing us off in the north of the south, Taylor River, Ben Kroll, 54-4 under par. There's a few guys just tag teaming the courses this week. Mr. Phil Bother, Stiffmeister, and Inchy both taken down, and Jens Moeller both taking down double titles. So good shooting this week, team. How are we looking up north?
It's a similar story in terms of domination. So just listen to this. First up, starting off in Berhampore, in the capital, the hot score for this round goes to Johnny Wake with a 9 under par. That's only on a 10-hole course, remember. Over at Hikoikoi on across the water, the hot score this week with 8 under par is Johnny Wake, tied with Ben Morrison, 8 under par. That's only a 9-hole course as well. Then it's up to Harcourt Park, where the hot score for this week was 8 under par by Johnny Wake. And so that's a Wellington lockout from Johnny Wake and his uncle, Ben Morrison. Over to Linklater with a score of 9 under par is Johnny Wake, who ties up with Ephraim Russell. Man, he's going to be on fire this weekend.
Does this man work?
Well, he does, actually. And I'll see if we can find a post he put up recently about his practice, some of the practice he's been doing at Taupo. I'll find that in a second. Maryland's Jason Mallion hits 5 under par. And over at Spa Park, Vinnie Wilson and John O.C. tie the black course with a 3 down. Matt G with 13 under at McLaren's Long, and Daniel Tidbury and Sam Hitchcock tie up Henderson with a 55-9 under par. So well done to all of them. Let me just see if I can find. I don't know if you saw this. Johnny's been doing some practice on. He's been practicing his putting on. In Taupo. Let me just see if I can find the thing. Morgan, if someone wins the shirt from you this week, what do they need to do?
Oh, just touch base. We'll have it sorted. Well, they don't need to do anything. You know what? I'll contact you and we'll get your delivery address and I'll get it sent straight out to you. Yeah. You're not going to choose what it is. I'm going to choose it for you and I'm going to base it off your personality. Matt,
Okay.
just what we were talking about before the show, guys, I have one of my best friends from home arriving at my house tonight who I haven't seen in a couple of years. He's just walked through my front door. I'm going to be 30 seconds. I'm going to give him a hug and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Can't not do it.
Whilst Morgan's doing that, let me just grab this. I thought was hilarious. This is on Johnny Wake's Instagram earlier on. This is some practice. What has he got? Getting those C1 percentages up. Let's have a look. Hey, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Obviously, as you may know, Johnny Wake is an arborist and has done quite a lot of work in getting the Taupo course up to speed, especially following the cyclone that hit earlier on this year. I think it's hole 2 of the red and black course that is the one that he's built like a custom hole
hanger.
Yeah, someone
it's got like the big V on the bottom with the pole out the
That's
top.
right.
And
Yeah.
That thing
looks awesome. And he's also done some work over on the other side. I think it was hole 17. I think is the hole where you throw through. I think it's called Devil's buckets or something. It's a very holy course, very difficult. Someone from the chat will let me know that I've got that horrendously wrong. But yeah. Anyway, right. Let's. My word, there's lots of people who have put Smash into the comments. Put Smash into the comments if you want to have a chance at winning. The prototype gatekeeper, and also the shirt from that Morgan's going to get from Generation Disc Golf. The reason actually why Johnny hit so many of Pit of Despair, thanks Rich, the reason why Johnny hit so many of the hot scores this weekend, especially around Wellington, was it was the Centurion. Wellington Centurion, thanks to the
Wellington Disc Golf Club.
Well, it was Wellington Disc Golf Club, but it was also Wellington Anniversary. So we have the results here, and I'm just going to put the scores up on the screen because they managed to do it like we've done it before. You might so get ready for this because this will blow your mind. This is the scoreboard, the scorecard on UDisc for the round. Johnny Wake is the winner overall. I think he made. I think his total birdie. So Johnny Wake walks away 48 under par. This is 101 holes. Remember, so the way that Centurion works, if you've not played it before, people play 101 holes all in one day. They play Hardcore Park 2.5 times. So 2 regular 18s and the short 9. Then they play Petone 4 times, which is a 9-hole course, and then Berhampore twice, which is a 10-hole course. And Johnny hits 2 aces.
2 aces within 38 holes, if my eyes allowed me to read.
Right. That's right. And he hits them on hole 5 at Berhampore, which is a nice one to get the ace on. That's a skip ace from he's a lefty, so it would be a lefty backhand through the gap, skips up. If you've got a sidearm and you're a righty, then that line works as well. And I think it was hole 6 at Petone that he aced as well, which also plays well for a lefty. Both so incredible scores. Brady Cush finishes second, 36 under par. Tim Wilson, Ben Morris, and Andy Davey all shooting some good scores there as well. So well done to everybody who went out. Really, it's the completing of the event that really kind of matters. So
Brett's saying first ace on hole 5 at Berrenport ever.
Oh wow! I didn't realize that. That's even more impressive. To be honest, there's not a lot of lefties who play Berrenport, and it really plays a lot easier. That hole really plays a lot easier for a lefty. If you're a righty, to take the same line, you've got to have a real good sidearm. Yeah, forehand. I mean, I like to hit it. It's a nice one to get when you get it. But yeah, that's that. Right, let's have a look. There was also some other disc golf played over the weekend, which was the Southern Smash down in Invercargill. Morgan, you were there.
It was simply an incredible weekend. The guys put on one hell of an event, man. I love it down there. I absolutely do. I was saying to you before the show, like, I don't collect a lot of tournament discs, but I have got a really good stash of Southern Smash discs because I love it so much. I loved having the memories of that event. And having Hayden down there as the TD just turned things up another notch again. So big ups, Disc Golf South crew. You guys are freaking unreal, man. I wish I could hold all my standards to your standard. all my events, to your standard.
Well, it's an interesting one, because they obviously they picked up the Cheney for Tournament of the Year last year.
Yeah.
Edged out some stiff competition, in fairness, from the Garden City Open, which got a lot of votes, and it was really, most people voted for one or the other, almost. So,
man, they've got the smaller crew that's sort of organising the event. But man, as soon as they get into event setup and breakdown and all of the, just all the intricate little bits and pieces, everyone comes out the woodwork, Yeah. God, they just have such a big crew. These big clubs have such a good benefit of having such a large amount of players to, lean into to get everything done. It's an incredible scene because as soon as the prize giving was finished, they're all out there just boom, packing everything down. Kilometers and kilometers of string is sight to behold.
It's really good when you see it kind of a team come together like that and put on that kind of effort to pack a course down and put it up and whatever. And it's almost like watching a machine work, when it happens. It's reminds me a little bit of the the amount of work and effort that we're starting to see go into tournaments that perhaps a few years ago you might not have seen. I mean, things like putting out string for OB sounds like a simple kind of thing to do. Makes a huge difference to the people.
It's not, and honestly, taking string down is harder.
Yeah, I can imagine. Actually,
and it becomes a mess. Honestly, Adam and I at Generation have actually gone away from string because usually 90% of the setup is going to be me and him, and it just takes too much time. And I still think flags are really good. It gives you a really good visual to look at as well down a fairway. But when you get really close to a line, it is so much better to have string and just have no doubt. So it's definitely well, they had string and flags, which is just incredible. The amount of setup time would have been incredible if you just added all the man hours together. So well done to them. And the event itself was just unbelievable.
Well, as people can see on the screen, the winner was, as we predicted, it was Levi Stout who took out the round. Although after the first round, I was sat here going, no, surely not. What's going on? And actually, it turns out that he just had a bit of a wobble, bounces back in the next two rounds, and puts it to bed with relative ease.
The next three guys had such a good battle. I was watching it on my phone the whole weekend. Those next three guys battled so hard, but they just didn't have that next gear that Levi has, which is pretty incredible because he's taken the standard of disc golf in New Zealand to the next level. Yeah.
10:27, 10:33, pretty strong back-to-back rounds. It's going to take something like that this weekend, but three of them to come somewhere close to the lead, I think. We'll see. Ethan Stout in second, Francis Orange third, and Andrew Popham and Sebastian Faulkner rounding out the top 5. That's a pretty regular top 5. Is that the same top 5 that we saw at Wahitapu?
I thought you were going to say Roxburgh.
Oh, sorry, Roxburgh.
I was going to say you're pushing the memory bank there. If you want to remember back to Wahitapu.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was, and Seb was right there as well.
Yeah.
Like the person I'm probably the most impressed with, and taking nothing away from anyone else, it's Francis Orange, because I feel like a couple of weeks ago on the show, I didn't quite put him in that bracket, and he has absolutely, without a doubt, proven himself to me across the last 2 weekends. So he's the next one to watch out for.
I completely agree. There's several youngsters, and Francis is a youngster. I've known him for years, so he won't mind me saying that. And I can remember now actually that Brady and I went to Wellington High School and said, "Hey, do you want to do some disc golf stuff?" And Brady and they were running a disc golf lesson as kind of a biomechanics. So they had in their biology lessons, they were doing biomechanics, and the teacher was a disc golf player. So it was like, well, we're going to look at the biomechanics of someone releasing a disc, right? How does arms move, and what's the biology of elbows moving, and all that kind of stuff, right? Which is fascinating. And we ran a session down there. We gifted him a basket and a box of discs and ran it. Great day. And Francis was there, and he played a few rounds and had played Ultimate younger when he was younger. Sorry, then he just got better and better and better. It was fantastic to see. Obviously moved to Dunedin a year or so ago, I want to say.
Yeah, it has been about that, maybe slightly over now.
Yeah, so and is really pushing it. I don't think it's too long before we see him kind of break into. He's already getting regular podiums. I don't think it's too long before we see him challenging for the lead on some of these tournaments. So
yeah, well, Ethan's always going to be right there, and between him and Andrew Popham, those two are going to be the ones pushing for that. God, it almost feels rude to say, but that second place spot, and everyone's going to have to prove that they can beat Levi before we can say that they're actually challenging for that top spot right now. It's a matter of numbers more than anything.
Absolutely. Right, let's have a look further down.
No. Oh, good. Yeah, another division. That's good. Yeah, good man. My man.
Yeah, not your best work, Morgan.
Keep going.
Okay, over to FPO, and I'm going to just no offense to the MP40s and MA1s, we'll get to you in a second, but I just want to do that so that we get the FA1s on the same screen, because I think it's worth mentioning here that Victoria Speller in FA1 played the same layouts, same holes, same card all weekend probably, as the three ladies in FPO, and took out the win by 3 strokes over Echo Lee and Hayley Flintoff, who had a fantastic battle. And Echo Lee finally pips Hayley. I think that's her first victory over Hayley for some time.
It is, yeah, and she did it on a playoff on the hole 18 in front of everyone, right before prize giving. So it was
I saw the live video. I didn't watch it live, but I saw the live video afterwards, and it was on a hole 18, if you know it, island hole with some hay bales, she made the island, and
well, Hale stepped up first, and she left it short of the island, so.
If
all
Echo
had to do was put it on the island, pitch up, and job done.
That's it. So yeah, brilliant battle.
As you said, Victoria Speller taking down FA1, but also taking the overall. And because she jumped on a plane and shot straight up north. I am now the current FA1 champion.
Hooray! There we go. Well, she lives in your house, doesn't she? She lives in your house. So
yeah, she's in my attached flat unit on the side of my house.
So yeah, very good. So well done to Victoria Speller for taking that one out and over Echo Lee and Hayley. Let's have a quick look at MP40. Johnny Ferrari. Yes, this is what we like to see off the back of a strong,
Ferrari.
he struggled initially at Roxburgh, then came back and carried that form into this weekend. Yeah, it's his home course. He obviously knows it very well, but had enough of a lead to see off a charge in Trevor Harbolt and Hemi in the final round.
Yeah, well, he sort of, how do you put it? He fell on hard times in the last round compared to his first couple of rounds, but as you say, he did enough in those first couple of rounds to give him the buffer he needed to get across the line. But it's so good seeing, and I know he wasn't the TD for the weekend, but we all know how much work he puts in, and to see someone putting that much work in the background to be able to actually come out on top on what you'd say is his event is, man, my hat's off to you, bro.
Totally. Trevor Harbolt visiting from the States, he's playing this weekend as well. 998 MP40 rated player, has won heaps of tournaments in the past, and so will do some damage this summer, I think, in New Zealand. So great to see him over here. Hemi and Tom McKay and Mikey Yu round out the top 5. Down to MA1, Sam Lycan, eh?
Oh, I wish I had the message in front of me from his dad. I'm not going to.
Sam Lycan, and look at this. Look, that's what did he shoot? 15 under par, 3rd overall.
Yeah, he got the during prize giving. He got the call up to MPO from Mr. Levi Stout, his junior counterpart.
Well, look, I think he's probably after something else this season in terms of goals. But I wouldn't be surprised if later on this year, after the winter, we see Sam move up to MPO, because he's proving he can play with the best of them. I think that's his second MA1 title in a short space of time.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
And he's beating people who are good, right? He's beating a strong. We've spoken about it before. We speak about it every week, how the MA1 field is currently very, very strong.
Yep, I'm in a few group chats with guys that are in MA1, and they all know that's who they're chasing. Yep. They're very clear about and very honest about it. So
well, honestly, they've got some way to go. This 918 rating, that's looking a bit suspect, and will certainly push up. 1,000 rated final round. Is that his first 1,000 rated round? Possibly.
Don't call me on that one.
Possibly. Over to MA40, and Hayden Shaw picks up another victory by 8 shots over the rest of the field. Is there a call for an MP40 call up for Hayden here? I don't know.
What's his rating at there? 914. Well, the age-old saying that I've been saying for the last few months, to be fair, is every TD should get 8 strokes on the field. So, I mean, what would that put him to, 15 under par, MP40, maybe just MPO, right out.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing well for some time now. I think the last 6 months or so, he's just been dominating MA40. And not really, there's not too many other people who are getting a look in, honestly. But yeah. Okay, so in FA40, Nicola Stout wins with ease. In this, it's difficult to compare her scores to the other ladies because she played a slightly different layouts over the weekend. Jeff Lewis, I think this is his second victory in as many weeks, isn't it? Did he take out Roxburgh in MA50?
Yes, he did. Yes, I believe so. I'm thinking of the MA40 one. Yeah, he did, because he got another one up over Leon. Sorry, Leon.
No, sorry, he came second at Roxburgh.
Who came first at Rocks? Have you got it there?
I do. Joshua Walker.
Oh, right. Sorry, Josh. I was thinking you were slightly younger than you are.
Jeff Lewis takes out the win over Mark Tebbett and Leon Botta in a tie for second. Andrew Falcon and Joshua Walker round out the top 5. MA60, it's Steve McVicker with ease takes out the MA60 title. And then what a battle in FA60. 1 shot separating all 3 ladies.
That was insane. That was wild.
That would have been quite the weekend. With Diane Thompson coming from behind to take that victory as well. So well done to Diane.
208, 209, 209. That is incredible.
And then finally, not quite finally, Stevie Ray Cleghorn in MA2 wins relatively easily also, with 3 900 rated rounds, shoots 10 shots better than Tim Giles. In FA2, Rowan Simmons takes out the win over Nicky Day. MA3, and it's William Murahi. My apologies if I pronounced that wrong. Again, winning by 8 shots over Calvin Jenkins and Rob Maxwell. And finally, down into the junior divisions, Thomas Jennings wins over Casey Thompson and Connor Rance. So congratulations to all of their winners. Johnny's saying it's a great Southland sweep. I'm presuming there's lots of there's lots of Southlanders in the winners there. So so well done.
Well, we know how many rounds those guys get in on that disc golf course down there. It's I mean, they're out there daily just grinding no matter what the weather is. So when tournament time comes, those guys are prepared. Rain, wind, shine, snow could all happen in the same day, and scores aren't going to change for them.
Absolutely. Right. We're going to now jump in to our guest is actually ready and here and very patiently waiting. So we shall bring him in very shortly. Just as a reminder, though, if you want to get your hands on a prototype Gatekeeper or one of the Generation Disc Golf shirts, we're doing a giveaway. It'll be a wheel of names. You've done it before. Make sure you put the word SMASH into the comments to get entered. We have 56 people entered so far, so we'll be doing a draw for that a little bit later on in the show. So make sure that you put SMASH into the comments to get yourself into the draw. And also, don't forget that if you're relatively new to the show, then please hit the subscribe and the like button. It really helps to spread the word and get us seen by as many people as possible. So anyway, let's move on and bring in our guest this evening. Now, normally we set this up previously, and it's a lot easier to do because
Tech Man Matt, hard at work.
Yes, normally I don't have an intern to do this kind of stuff, so it makes it pretty tricky. But let's see if this works.
We're a two-man band here with one man doing everything. All right, sorry, team.
We are, but we do have Corey here with us now. Corey, I'm just sizing you up, not physically, but just making sure that the camera's in the right place. So apologies.
Kia ora, Corey. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Yeah, really good. Thank you, man. Really good, and we're absolutely stoked to have you on the show and in the country.
I'm glad to be here.
Good evening, Corey. Welcome to the show. It's great to have you. We haven't met previously because obviously you're just dialing in now. How long? So welcome to New Zealand, and welcome to the show. How long have you been here? When did you get here?
It's been a few days. I think we got in. We were a day late from what we originally planned, so it's only been 3 days, I think.
Mm-hmm. So that would have been what were we on Thursday? So Monday this week. And
yes,
what have you been up to? What have you seen so far? What's your?
Well, we got in and went straight to Bellaraka and got to meet Simon and his wife Yvette, and they're wonderful, and the course there is spectacular, and
it's an incredible location.
It's just. This place is heaven on earth. I'm really enjoying your country so far, and I've only been to the North Island. So,
there you go.
We just earlier today we went to Hobbiton and did the whole tour through, and that's why I was a bit late to your podcast. Actually, it was getting back and being able to eat before everything closed and everything. So apologies for being a bit late.
No, not at all.
It was worth it, I have to say.
A Lord of the Rings fan?
Yes, huge Lord of the Rings fan.
Oh, brilliant! It's a great place to visit. I I don't know if ashamedly is the right word. I've been there 3 times with various people who have visited, and I've loved it each time. It's fantastic.
It's a bit touristy for my liking. I don't really like being herded around like sheep, but it's just unbelievable. I mean, since I was a little boy, I've wanted to go to just come down to New Zealand and especially to Hobbiton and see, this for myself, and it was surreal to be there. Like,
you're absolutely in for a treat when you come down to the south too. More Lord of the Rings scenes around the Queenstown area, paradise. You won't be herded around like sheep, hopefully, down there, and you'll probably see some locations that are pretty iconic and memorable from the movies.
Absolutely. I mean, Morgan, do you know there's Paradise is obviously filmed? Lord of the Rings was filmed around where Paradise is.
Yep.
There were scenes from Lord of the Rings filmed at Harcourt Park in Wellington.
True. Awesome.
So I mean, there's disc golf parks where all the filming happens. So there's a very good chance that on your trip you're gonna get immersed in the movie a little bit more than perhaps you thought. So, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I know. Henry was telling me the course we play for Paradise is where they filmed like Isengard parts of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just it's surreal to be here. Like I said, it's an honor, honestly, and I can't believe that just playing disc golf since I was 5 years old, and now it's brought me literally around the world. I just appreciate everyone, and so far everyone's been so welcoming, and it's like I said, it's only been 3 days and we're just blown away. If we didn't have our dog and our cat back home, we would be like, we got to move down here.
I was wondering if that was your cat in the photo that you first posted with Henry and a couple other people in there. On your Instagram.
No. That was Sid. That was the local cat there at Bellaraka.
Oh, right. I feel like I should know that, but I was like, man, he's gone all the way out here, brought his cat. I love it.
So you're going to Taupo tomorrow, or are you there already?
No, we're here. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Great. I got to play around today. Simon showed us around, and the course is awesome. I really like the variety of shots that it has, and I'm excited to get my season started.
Yeah, right. Because this isn't just a holiday. I mean, you're going to be doing stuff that you might have done if you came on a holiday anyway. But for you, this is also the start of what's going to be a pretty intense season, and off the back of arguably the most successful season you've had to date.
Yeah, absolutely. This is especially being at Bellaraka. It was like I told my wife, I was like, it's like we traveled across the world to come to training camp, because like how they have all the bunks houses there, and it's summertime here, and it gets dark so late compared to what we were used to. I mean, we got 8 inches of snow literally the day after we left back home, and we were like, man, we left at the right time for sure. And
excuse my ignorance, what's your hometown? Sorry, Corey.
We're from West Virginia. We're from Barbersville, West Virginia.
Cool, yeah.
So you were out on the course today. I mean, I've played Taupo a few times. It's a fantastic course. Obviously, they've got plenty of options there with the park as it is. Distracted by any of the scenery? You've got obviously the river running down the back end there, and some pretty nice places around the course.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, they took a bunch of us to the falls there, and we hiked about 45 minutes all the way up to the course, and got to see the river and everything, and the crystal clear blue water.
Yeah,
and it's just unbelievable. We're definitely going to have to go swim in those hot spot, the spas there too, the hot spring, and it's just this. I think it's hole 4. The green on hole 4 is right there where the river is, and without a doubt, right now that's the absolute prettiest green I've ever seen on a disc golf course. It's just the way the tree is right behind the basket, and you can see all that blue river and the hills, and it's just perfect.
How does the course set up in terms of your game? How do you feel that it'll match or not to the way that you like to play disc golf? Like, how would you describe it? Kind of park style with a bit of woods.
Yeah, that would be a good description, I think. I like to think that I'm pretty versatile. That I prefer the woods personally, but a lot of people think of me because I can throw the disc far. But if it was up to me, we'd be in the woods the whole time. But just because I really like the shape of a disc and the flight, and it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's a good time. The course is just fun to play, and it's refreshing to have so many shots out there.
Yeah,
because a lot of times on tour, it seems like we get stuck playing like distance driver, the same shot almost over and over, and then we just have a putter up shot, or you have a putt or something like that, and it's fun to use all the disc in the bag.
So I've got a question on that actually, and I don't want to insult New Zealand disc golf. Is the course short?
I would not necessarily. I wouldn't say short, although I did eagle hole 2 today. But I mean, in comparison to the Pro Tour, yeah, it's shorter. But in my opinion, that doesn't necessarily mean it's worse or better or either one. It's just what you prefer as a person. Like I said, it kind of gets old throwing the same distance driver and over again. But
yeah,
so I appreciate the course a lot, actually.
Yeah, because I see some of the courses for us. They're slowly getting longer. We're slowly seeing some longer holes come in, and there's some pretty iconic, very long holes over here. But I just wonder for someone who's at your standard, whether they're going to be easy to reach a lot of the time. I mean, are you looking to attack every hole, or are there any holes where you're looking to play defensively?
No, I'm always trying to birdie.
Okay.
At least from what I saw today, I guess that would also depend on the wind. There was a couple times today that the headwind made the holes tremendously harder than it would have been. Yeah. But for the most part, I'm always trying to birdie.
Yeah, it can get breezy in Taupo. It can get breezy, so we'll see whether that's going to be a thing.
I think that's a testament to the level of disc golf too, Matt. Is like when you do get to that top end, and we do see it with a number of our players here. They are just attack all the time. Where a lot of us, lower rated players, they may not be able to reach the 120-meter island green. We are playing a bit more defensively, but when you're looking at that top end and we're looking at the Levis and the Ethans and the Feezies and the Jackos of New Zealand, they are all attack most of the time. I'd say 90% of the time they're going after it. So someone of Corey's stature in the game and how well-rounded he is and how good he is, I'm not surprised that was the answer.
Let's just rewind a little bit, because you had the greatest success of your career was the European Open earlier on last year. How did that feel, especially the way it happened, right? Because I was watching it live. It's on at a very sensible time here, actually, for watching live in the morning.
Early morning was great.
Yeah. I was watching it live, and I was like, this is incredible. And that hole is it hole 16?
Island hole?
The island hole where everything happened. How was it for you? What were you thinking watching what was unfolding on that hole?
I was, as I think back, I was, to be honest with you, kind of zoned out. So I usually don't like to look at the scores ever. And I knew, obviously, like if it was going to be close, I told my wife, Molly, that if I was going to, I had to know what the scores were after hole 15 going into the last 3 holes, no matter what.
Yeah.
So for the first time, besides after a round, that was the first time I looked at the scores to see where I was sitting during a round. And I think he had 2 or 3 strokes. I can't remember exactly. But I knew I had been laying up no matter what, and I knew I had to play for birdie. So when he threw kind of close to that back OB edge there, I knew I had to put it closer than him to the basket so that I put the pressure on him to get on that island.
Yeah.
And what most of the time, if you rewatch that clip, especially if you're just watching highlights and stuff, they don't really show Kyle throw before AB threw, because Kyle was actually the shortest drive, and he throws a really good spike hyzer and sticks the green and absolutely parks the hole. And then all that happened with AB, and then I had to go check the scores to see where everyone else was, and I saw Kyle's name was the closest to me, so that's all I thought about was like, okay. And I had just seen what that happened with AB, and I was like, well, Kyle just stuck the green, so I know it's possible, so then I just let my body take over at that point and threw the shot with my zone and was able to stick the green. And that putt was probably 15 feet, 16 feet away from the basket that I had to make. And I swear that was the longest 16-footer I've ever had to make in my life. And I just willed it into the basket. And I remember I turned around and I was like, I thought to myself, you're going to win the European Open. And then as I'm walking up the hill, I said, no, you're not going to celebrate until you drop in the last putt. So I then we go to 17 and I throw my buzz shot. And I think, honestly, that shot was the best shot I've ever thrown ever in my entire life of throwing discs, because of the situation, and the wind that was coming over my shoulder was a tail left to right, and just to have the right amount of flip at the right time. And
17's the one that's steep. It's got a steep green down at the end.
The green
down
slopes,
to
yes.
Right to left. Yeah, I watched the shot earlier on. Actually, it was incredible. And you're right.
Oh, sorry, Matt. After going through that and watching AB do all of that on that hole, and then going into the next hole, do you think you were just in the flow state at that point? Because you'd already told yourself you were going to win, but you weren't going to celebrate. But your body was just mentally, physically.
So there was the last off season, actually. I had talked with a sports psychologist who has worked with like professional, like NFL players, NBA players, real golfers, not real golfers, ball golfers. And he showed me this breathing technique to help control your heart rate, and kind of like a meditation in a way. And I did that every day before every round of the European Open. And I did that actually walking up to 17's tee pad there. And then as I'm standing up at 17's tee pad, I continued to do the breathing. And then as I'm walking down, I don't really remember getting to the green of 17, but I remember looking down at the grass the whole time and never looking up, and just like as if like my legs weren't even working. It was just like I floated to the green, like I just kind of appeared there. It was really interesting. I guess that like extreme, I mean, you could call it a level of stress for sure. Just kind of, you can't put that into words, like that feeling. It's indescribable. You only know it if you've experienced it. And it's definitely something I'll never forget. Is that, and I remember after I executed that and made the putt, and I had I think 2 on Kyle. We went back to 18, and Paul Macbeth was caddying for AB, and he looks at me and says, "Par wins." and I double checked the scores again, and I did more of the breathing, took my time and got a drink of water, and stuck to the same game plan I had been, which was throwing a zone off that tee and then just laying up for par, and executed the shot. And it wasn't until my putt landed under the basket before I dropped it in that's when I allowed myself to like be like, you know, you did it, you know, you finally did it. Like, it's just
you've
feeling
you relived this moment so many times, and obviously had interviews and talking to so many people about it. We're obviously quite a long way down the track now, and we're talking about it yet again. You're giving me chills talking about it, and it's bringing me back to, you know, I feel like I was just watching it 1 or 2 weeks ago. How does it make you feel talking about it this far down the track? Because it's such a huge achievement.
It's still somewhat fresh, you know, that feeling, and it's just, I mean, if I win Worlds or a U.S. championship or any other tournament, anything, well, I don't think I'll ever have that same feeling again as that feeling of, you know, you finally did it, you know, no matter what. I think the only one that may have a similar feeling would be the USCGC for me, even more than a Worlds, because my dad took me to see USCGC in 2009 when I was just a kid, and I saw those guys throw over the lake in the distance showcase, and I think that like propelled me to want to do this, you know, to want to truly make it my life, and I think that for some reason that tournament, when you're there, that it's the only place that I get chills on the tee pad is at USCGC and now the European Open, because every time I stepped on that green or on the first tee at European Open, I had the same chills as I get from USCGC. It never happens like that at Worlds, and I think that's because those two tournaments have almost always been at the same property, and it's just something about like, it's like all those people's energy throughout the years. It's like it goes into the ground and like you feel it. Like it's like, I don't know how to describe that either. Like it's just the places like that are special, and I hope that you guys can have like the national championships have a similar thing, or a tournament here, and just have, you know, it be a major tournament like that, and have the same history or built into it, and it be, you know, just so other people can have that feeling, you know, that can't travel into the US or to Europe or to anywhere else. I want everyone to be able to experience that.
Yeah. I mean, New Zealand has the three majors that rotate around, but there is some very iconic courses, at least for on a Kiwi scale, around the country that, you know, have a lot of history going a long way back. Morgan lives in the town with the first course, and I live in the town with the second course. So it's there's some pretty old courses going on. It's great to hear, and thank you for going to the level of detail there.
As I said, Corey, that literally put the hairs up on my arm. So thank you very much for sort of running us in a very detailed way back through that, because I know I'm looking at the chat. People are super appreciative of it. So, man, awesome stuff.
No problem. Yeah.
Let's have a look ahead to tomorrow, actually, because your kind of season, I guess, officially starts on Friday, I would say. But you've got tomorrow where you've got a pretty busy day lined up. Mount Ruapehu in the chat wants to know if he's going to be able to peer pressure you into a bungee tomorrow. Is that on the list of things to do whilst you're here?
Absolutely not. Zero chance.
Oh, okay.
Love it.
It's not for everyone, honestly. I've never done. Morgan's probably done hundreds, but I've never done one. I've got the same kind of thing as you, Corey. To be honest,
I've done one, and that's all I need.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I'm too big to be jumping off something with a rope attached to me. Way too big.
But tomorrow you've got a really busy day because you've got it's a practice day or another practice day, I guess, and you'll probably want to get a round or two in around the course. You've also got a clinic that you're running early afternoon, and you've also got the $1,000 skins match where you'll be up against some pretty stiff opposition in the form of Nate Perkins, Juliana Corver, the best player in New Zealand currently, who is Levi Stout.
Don't take him lightly.
And Boom Boom Brett Carlisle from Wellington. Brett's one of my good friends, so he's I'm rooting for him. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too.
But
that's fine.
Yeah, so yeah, we shall be following. Well, I shall do my best to find someone who's following that. I know a few people who are there, so I'll just see if I can be following that. How much are you looking forward to kind of tomorrow? Have you got or this weekend? Have you got any kind of highlights that or things that you're really looking forward to?
To be honest with you, I'm really looking forward to playing with the locals here, because I haven't really played with anyone, I don't think, from New Zealand besides Simon and his buddy Marcus at his property, and a little bit with Henry. But it's I'm excited to meet some new golfers and hopefully make friends with people and to get some of them up. I've heard a lot about Levi, and I'm especially excited to play with him.
So how much do you know of the New Zealand disc golf talent?
Not as much as I'd like to. So not much.
Okay.
I mean, unless you're watching PDGA Scores or watching Sweet Chain Sweet Chain Live, where else would you get the information? Do you know? So everyone's excited to see you and play with you.
I have tried to watch some coverage while I was back home, and I can't remember exactly. I watched the national championships from last year when Nate won, and a few other ones while I was also kind of like getting some work done around my house and stuff.
Yeah, but get a bit of Flexline Media on the TV.
Yes, yeah.
Just because we brought that up, what do you think about their post-production? Because I think it's right up there. I think they've got an incredible team of guys that are putting that together.
They're doing a great job. I was impressed with the quality. It was really good.
Yeah, I say a team of guys. It's a husband and wife. So yeah, I've always been super impressed with them over the years. Chris and Gwen, shout out to you.
Absolutely. They do a great job.
Yeah, keep it up. You guys are killing it.
We haven't seen them do much stuff recently.
Well, they had their wedding, and then they went and did a multi-month cycle trip around Japan.
That's right.
So they had a bit of time off prepping for that, and they're just trying to take a wee bit of time back in their personal life and do their day-to-day jobs. So,
Corey, after this weekend, you head back up north to Auckland to play at Nationals, which is going to take place from Saturday to Tuesday. Tuesday's a public holiday here in New Zealand, that Tuesday of Nationals. And so, I mean, you get to join a. You get to actually. This is quite interesting. The winner of Nationals qualifies for the Champions Cup, so you can be one of the first to qualify for the 2025 Champions Cup. If you take out that victory, right?
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's something. It's been going for quite some time, actually. And Nate won last year's Nationals at Southern Smash, which we talked about the results of earlier on. And he's qualified for the 2024. And so yeah, that's quite a big prize, actually, as well as obviously the prestige and honor of winning the Nationals. And then it's down south to Christchurch, down to Bottle Lake, and then finally to Paradise. You've got a pretty packed schedule. Have you got any free time over the next few weeks to kind of?
There's a few days there are a few days, mainly like immediately after the tournament ends. You know, we have some free days. I like to get, you know, ideally at least 2 practice rounds in on whatever course it is I'm playing. I know for next weekend, the bog off course that we're playing is only going to be open on Friday from what I've been told. So we'll only get 1 round in there, but I really like Bella Rocca, and I'll be playing it as soon as we get back. This is I'm so excited to be down here and get to play. Just like it's, I don't even want to call it a warm up to the season. It's just a start to the season.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, because I know, you know, I'm not going to take anybody lightly here. You know, I know everyone is good golfers, and anyone can win any given time. So I hope no one thinks that I'm coming here just thinking I'm just going to run away with everything by any means. You know, I totally respect everyone's, you know, everyone that's here, and I'm just looking forward to some stiff competition.
What are your goals for the both in terms of, I guess, playing and also in terms of experience for the time that you're here?
My goals are to win all the events. That's the goal personally for me, because I mean that, you know, I didn't come down here to lose, but you know, I also respect the fact that, you know, there's stiff competition. So don't let it, you know, seem like I'm not that competitive by any means. I'm probably the most competitive person you'll ever meet, but I'm just really excited to play golf, to be honest with you. I know I've heard some stories of people that have come here in the past from the States that were like, golf, yeah, but let's go do this. Like I'm here to play golf, and hopefully take in some sights and some culture as well. And yep.
And do you think that this is the start of a kind of an annual thing where you'll see more of the US touring pros coming over in future years? Is this something that, you know, you're going to, obviously it's going to, you'll talk about it when you get home, and that might convince a few people?
Yes, absolutely. I hope that to make this a yearly thing, just come down once a year and get to see, you know, hopefully, you know, all my new friends, and just enjoy the time, get to see more of the country each time, and have life experiences outside of golf as well, you know. So far the food has been spectacular. We took a boat ride, and the worst thing I've had the entire time I was here was the coffee on that one boat. It was just awful. And every other coffee I've had since I've been here has been absolutely great. Shout out to Simon. He makes really good coffee at his house.
He does.
But
I have a question. You've been here since Monday. Has anyone dragged you to a bakery for a mince and cheese or a steak and cheese pie?
Surely.
Not yet.
Come on, Trevor. He's brought the man out. Damn it.
Trevor told me to stay away from him, but I really enjoy food, even though it doesn't look like it. I love food, and I'll definitely try pretty much anything. So.
Oh my goodness! Anyone that says stay away from a pie, you probably shouldn't be friends with them.
No, agreed. Agreed.
I've questioned that myself sometimes.
I actually have one more question. So you're saying you want to come down here yearly, and also that disc golf sort of taking you around the world. What other places have you actually traveled to play disc golf specifically?
Oops.
Oh no, we're back.
I thought that was me for a second.
Oh, we're losing you.
Oh no, you're back.
Yeah, so I've only been to Finland and to New Zealand now to play disc golf outside of the country.
Yeah.
But it's a long way down here. I mean, it was. I mean, we had to fly all the way to San Francisco from the other side of the U.S. and then it was 13 and a half hours from there to here to Auckland. So,
I know.
It's the other side of the world for sure.
I've just booked flights to head over to Mexico, and the travel back non-stop, not including like a few 2 or 3 hour layovers, is 37 hours from destination to home.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
How good is Finland, though? Right? The hospitality out there is incredible, man. That's somewhere I've been as well. Mind blowing.
Absolutely. Finland was awesome overall. Honestly, I felt kind of stressed off the course just with trying to honestly, I found it harder to navigate there, and we drive on the other side of the road in Finland, like not like it is here, but it was way more stressful because everything's nothing's in English, and even like going to the grocery store. My wife has like dietary restrictions and stuff, and trying to just read things on the labels and because apparently it's weird that some of the things are in Swedish there and Finnish, and like when you're at the grocery store, so you try to translate it on Google and it doesn't come up with the same thing, so it's just a pain in the ass. And it's overall Finland was great, and the only time I really felt home was on the course.
Yeah, right. I was pretty lucky to be staying with a teammate there 5 minutes from the Sibi disc golf course, and I think the one thing that blew my mind, and it wouldn't blow your mind as much because you've got a lot more courses in the States, but where we were staying seemed like the middle of nowhere, but you could drive 5 minutes in any direction and you're going to hit a course, and an incredible course too. That was just wild.
If you pull up UDisc,
the map
when you're in Finland, it's like it covers the map completely. It's crazy. A lot of them are like family style courses though, like where they're just like maybe just like a 9-hole, and they're really short, but either way you could go anywhere and get some type of practice, whether it's just putting or upshots or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and any style within 20 minutes of driving, basically.
Yeah, it's crazy to me that in Finland, literally everyone knows what disc golf is.
Yeah,
like you could just go to a random a store and they're kind of look at you weird and ask you why you're there, and you tell them disc golf, and they're like, oh, you're here for the tournament, and it's like, it's not like that at all in the U.S. Almost like especially where I'm from, nobody hardly knows what disc golf is like at all, and it's just that was kind of shocking.
So I would say that the average Kiwi perhaps has a better knowledge of disc golf than the average American. Is that a fair statement? I don't know.
Absolutely.
But nowhere near the average Finn, so.
No, definitely not the Finn. The amount of people there. One thing that, while we're talking about Finland real quick, the one thing that was the craziest to me was how respectful they were compared to the U.S. With crowds, like the spectators. Like I remember, we were on the tee, and there's some people rustling around or talking or something, and Yusi would just get up and he'd say something and finish, and real loud and deep voiced, and like even the little children would just freeze. And it's like, how do these kids know to like stay still? Like in America, you get a kid to stand still for nothing, and it's just like everyone just stops moving. And that was really interesting.
Yeah, I've witnessed the same thing. It's actually pretty impressive. It's and scary.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got a couple of segments to do with you. Now, this might come as a bit of a surprise, although you might have seen previous shows, so it might not have done. I don't know what Henry's told you, but we're gonna do Desert Island Disc Golf with you, and we're also going to do our Sweet Chain Safari, which we'll get onto. But I've just got a question in the chat. It's a very pertinent question given your love of food. Do you eat kinner?
So I don't know what it is.
Okay, so kinner is sea urchin, and so the little spiky things that rummage around on the bottom of the sea. If you get a chance to try some, then I would recommend it. I don't like them myself, but I'd certainly recommend that you try it.
I have actually had sea urchin.
Okay.
It was a long time ago in the U.S. somewhere at a very fancy restaurant that I can't particularly remember where it was, but I do remember having it once, and it was not something I would go out of my way to order.
I was about to say, I hope where you were was near the ocean.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it does need to be, because
it was probably.
Kinner
I think it was Florida.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was Florida.
Well, if you, I was going to say if you do, but when you run into the man himself, Jay Pookie, you'll know who he is. He'll be the biggest, strongest looking dude on at the tournaments that you're going to in the next few weeks. Ask him for some quality Kiwi seafood, and he'll hook you up.
Morgan, do you like Kinner?
Awesome.
I get gout, so no.
So I'm the I can't stand it, honestly. It just tastes like the sea. But my wife loves it. She absolutely loves it. And all of her family like it as well.
I don't actually like
baffling.
I don't like oysters though.
Okay.
Don't like oysters. It's like eating a cold booger, you know. It's just it's not good.
Right. Okay. So we're going to move on to Desert Island disc golf. So Corey, this is for your benefit as well. What this part of the segment of the show, if you've not come across it before, is the premise is that Corey is stranded on a desert island. Now, on this desert island, there's a disc golf course, and he's been stranded with 3 of his favorite discs and 3 of his favorite card mates. Now, his card mates can be family, they can be friends, they can be celebrities, they can be cartoon characters, they can be alive, they can be dead, they can be anyone. And we'd like to get to know you a little bit more by asking you, what are your 3 discs that you would take to your desert island? And if you've got them there to show us, even better. And who are your 3 card mates that you'd have on your desert island? So let's start with the discs. That might be a bit easier. What 3 discs would you have on your desert island?
I would have a buzz, for sure. A glow buzz, in particularly, because they're typically more stable. And
is that, sorry, I mean, is that your kind of, you can do anything with that disc? Is that why it's coming along?
Exactly, but probably the most versatile disc I can think of. Even if I had to play a 1 disc round, I would probably just use a buzz.
Yeah.
So definitely a buzz, a zone, a nice stable zone to, in case it's windy. And
you've got a few zones in your bag, eh?
I have too many zones in my bag, definitely. but yeah.
Just talk us through the different plastic types that you've got and how they differ, maybe for the ones you use the most.
So I have my soft zone in my bag. It's nice and overstable. It is a zone has to be puddle top for me. I won't throw a zone at all if it's not somewhat puddle top. That's just for how it feels in my hand, and typically they're more stable. So soft zone, and then my commemorative European Open zone, which I do believe that Henry just told me that he got some, and he's going to have some in stock at his shop. So maybe he'll have them at the tournaments. I don't know for sure or not, but there are Z Metallic, and I was very hands-on with this particular mold, because I tried to recreate the disc that I used to stick the island with on 16 to the best as far as flight and how it feels. It looks a little bit different, but it's still basically the same. But it is nice and stiff and puddle top, and it's very puddle top. All of them are. And they actually told me I was probably the most hands-on with a disc besides Paul Yulbari or Macbeth, because I tend to be particular about the disc I throw. The last zone I have is just an ESP zone that it's kind of just beat in, and I've had it in the bag for a long time. It's actually the one I threw off the tee of 18 at European Open, that final round. If you guys are interested, you see that it's kind of beat in. It just kind of holds the line for a second and then hyzers
I've
out.
got that video in the next tab over on my computer right here.
And finally, what's your third dish? You got a buzz, a zone, and what else are you taking?
Definitely one of my Nate Doss rubber blend challengers, because you got to putt. I mean, if there's a basket, you have to putt, and I love to putt, so I would have to have one of those.
Nice,
ideal, excellent. And who are your free card mates?
My wife, for sure, because I couldn't be on a desert island without her. I don't know what I would do. And for obvious other reasons, so she also is the life of the party. She cracks me up all the time. So forever entertainment with her. Let's see. Oh, this is tough for choosing people, because that means you're stuck there, right? I mean, until you get rescued from this.
Yeah, that's right. It can't just be. It may not be just the quality of their disc golf. It's got to be the quality of the conversation.
This is a very serious decision here, Corey.
Right. Yeah. So it's tough. It's a tough choice. I would say Yuli, honestly, because he's a lot of fun to play golf with too, and he's also a character, and you can just have a conversation with him forever about pretty much anything. Yeah. And so we have my wife and Yuli, and oh man, I don't know. The last one, it's like, I don't know.
Doesn't have to be a disc golfer.
Maybe it would be
a person. Just putting that out there.
Okay, so it doesn't. Okay, so it could be anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say it could be literally anyone. So let's say Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes,
there it is.
Yeah,
there it is.
For sure.
Corey, Molly, Yuli, and Obi-Wan on the desert island. That sounds
like a lot of fun. Sweet Chain history log books.
Excellent. And finally is the Sweet Chain Safari. So there's 18 questions. The first 9 are the family-friendly front 9, which is the same questions every week to every guest. And the back 9 is the Safari back 9, which take the form of a this or that, and it's quick fire. So just think the first answer that comes into your head. Morgan's going to give you a choice of 2, and you tell us which you prefer. Are you ready to go?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. Question number 1. What's your name?
Corey.
Where do you live?
West Virginia.
Where were you born?
Huntington, West Virginia.
What's your PDGA number?
44512.
How many years have you been playing?
25.
Your favorite disc?
The Buzz.
Your favorite course?
Idlewild.
Your favorite FPO player?
Paige.
Your favorite MPO
Paige
player?
Pierce, sorry. Myself.
Yes.
Yep. Excellent. Correct answer. Morgan, take us through the back 9.
All right, Corey. Back 9. We're into the thick of it now. Pick one disc to never throw again, the zone or the buzz.
The zone.
The zone. He's a buzz man. All right. Really into the thick of the weeds here. Without knowing who any of these teams are, please blindly choose one of the following. Please choose one of the following to follow into battle: the Blues, the Hurricanes, the Crusaders, or the Highlanders. You're going to hurt some people here. I think you know that. So one more time: the Blues, the Hurricanes, the Crusaders, or the Highlanders? Who are you following into battle?
The Crusaders.
Gosh, that's in the stream now. We're done. Good. My man. Right. Corey, you've been to Finland. I'm hoping you did. But would you rather sauna or cold plunge or both back to back?
Cold plunge for sure.
Cold plunge. Good man. If you best. Oh, sorry. What was that?
No, you're good. Sorry.
You good? No. And you had to. Would you give them your umbrella or your raincoat, and why?
I'm sorry, I missed the first part.
That's all right. If your best friend forgot rain cover at a tournament, would you give them your umbrella or your raincoat, and why?
Umbrella. Because I hardly ever use a raincoat unless it's really bad.
Yep.
And an umbrella, I feel like you can keep your at least your bag as dry as possible.
Okay, so you would give them your umbrella and you'd keep the raincoat, and you'd still play without the umbrella. Oh, you're a good best friend. All right. Where did I get to? All right. Picture this. You've just taken a really awesome drive, but you're bang right behind the middle of a tree on circle's edge. Would you rather straddle putt on your weak side, and I know everyone's got a weak side and a strong side, or drop to a knee on your strong side?
Either one, it doesn't matter to me.
That's
a terrible answer, but it's also the truth.
Big questions.
I would say just straddle putt.
Straddle putt.
I mean, I honestly don't think I have a strong or a weak side. When it comes to putting anyway, but strong side, I guess.
I feel like there's always people that actually are good at disc golf, and I just forget that, and I'm terrible. And I definitely have a weak side. Now, Dylan Deadman actually put this in the chat before. He tried to steal my question. I'm glad Matt didn't read it out. But when you're playing in a tournament, what sort of card do you prefer? Like a quiet and super focused card, or a bit more of a laid back with good chat amongst the card style?
Definitely good chat. That way it's not, that's what I would personally prefer. It doesn't really bother me if it's quiet or not.
I'm with you. I feel like you get a bit more morale out of your round, keep that high energy.
Yeah, absolutely. Get to know people, and just have casual conversation, and honestly try to forget about golf until it's time to go and golf.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Would you rather be in a playoff at a major tournament against Eagle McMahon or Paul Macbeth?
Eagle.
Against Eagle. All right. This one's sort of a little bit open to interpretation on how an event runs, but who does run a better event, the Europeans or the US?
That's a double-edged sword.
I'm just out here to make you hurt feelings. Right? That's what I'm here for.
So far, I've only been here for 3 days, but New Zealand how about that? Because
we'll take it.
Yep,
100% take it.
Yeah,
that's right. Take that, US and Europe. Europeans. All right, and one last question. We're on the 18th hole here. Would you prefer to go back-to-back as the European Open champ, or this year go first-time USDGC champ? And we've talked about both today. I'm very interested to hear this one.
Oh, man. Oh, that's also rough. That is rough because like there's nothing, like defending your title, but then it's the US championship. That's a tough question. I would have to probably go with the U.S. Championship, because to prove I can win somewhere else, and that tournament means a lot to me.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear. I'd love to see you take down that, and I think you'd really be proving a massive point doing that.
Absolutely.
There you go. That's our Safari back nine to round out 18 holes of Sweet Chain Golf.
Thank you so much, Corey, for that. That was a lot of fun. And thank you so much for joining us. You've got a really busy 3 or 4 weeks. So look, very best of luck with over the next few weeks, and enjoy the disc golf, the New Zealand countryside, the New Zealand people. Yeah, very best of luck. Hopefully we'll speak to you again sometime.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. And I hope to get to meet you all in person soon.
Heck yeah, man.
Sing
out if you're down in the Queenstown area, my friend, and you enjoy your evening and enjoy the week and the following weeks coming up.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
cheers,
man.
Corey. See you soon.
See you.
There we go, Morgan. What some great stories, and a really nice chat.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate the fact that he put a lot of thought into some of the questions, even though, especially on that Safari back nine, I asked some ridiculous things.
Yeah.
I like to do it like that, but he put in a bit of thought, and I appreciate that a lot. Especially that last one. One time US DGC champ, he sort of spoke to it earlier in the show that's the one he really wants to get. It's the one that really got him into disc golf, going there with his father, seeing them throw over the lake, and that's why he is where he is now.
Yeah, totally.
That and a lot of hard work.
Right. Let's have a look at some of the events that are coming up over the next
Mr. Matt, can I pause you for one moment, please? Because we actually skipped over something that happened last week that I have been reminded about throughout the show.
What's that?
There was the Flex Start event also at Southern Smash last Friday.
Oh, yes, of course.
That was sponsored by Disc Shop and Zuka. And Mr. Jaden Menzies took that out with a 1,018 rated 10 under par.
And that's good enough to
Zuka cart.
He won a Zuka cart from that.
He won a Zuka cart.
That's
$650 worth.
Wow. That's amazing. Well done to Jaden.
He came around on my round, which was basically the last round of the day because we showed up after work. We teed off just after 7 p.m. And I did make him clench up a wee bit. You've got to admit that, Jaden. You've got to admit that. I shanked my first drive on the first hole, took par, and then went birdie, 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 birdie.
His jaw just starting to go, no. But then, of course, I played like I usually do and threw it all out the window.
No. Right, let's just have a quick look. This is the schedule for tomorrow if you're in Taupo. So it's a practice day all day. The coaching clinics are from 1 till 2:30, and then at 3 o'clock is the $1,000 invitational, as we spoke about before. That's when it'll be Corey Ellis, Levi Stout, Juliana Corver, Nate Perkins, and Brett Carlisle who will be competing in that. Let's have a look at the lineup for this weekend and make some predictions. So in MPO, Morgan, can you see anyone outside of Corey Ellis winning this tournament?
Man, it's tough, but yeah, I can.
Okay. Where do they come from? New Zealand, Belgium?
Come from outside the 1,000 rated realm.
You reckon?
Yeah. And it's because, and Corey touched on it, the courses aren't as big. So it actually brings, for me, in my mind, it brings the level of golf a little bit closer, because I'd say when you get into those big guns efforts out in the States there, having that 150-meter consistent distance or more is what you need. Bring it back down and you're in the trees. You need that touch and finesse, and I think that really levels the playing field. And I think Jackson Sullivan is going to be right there. I think he's going to come in. We know Levi's going to come in with a point to prove. He's an absolute weapon. He sits on the top. Jackson, just a little bit behind at the moment, but I know it's not his home turf, but it almost is. And I feel like he could get the job done. But I know where you're coming from. It's Corey should be just...
Yeah, and look, so for any statisticians out there, or people at least interested in stats, Corey's got a 23 ratings point lead. Now, if we have a look at a 23 ratings points, that's going to equate to about 7 or 8 shots over the weekend. If you simply look at average ratings points, right? And I know that, you know, it's way more complex than that. But that's broadly how it translates, right? Interesting to see that Levi's been described as a dark horse in the chat. There's probably not too many people just describing him as that. If you are looking for dark horses, I'm going to pick 2 out that are a bit further down. One of them has been mentioned in the chat already. That's Francis Orange. We spoke about him earlier. The other one, of course, friend of the show, Johnny Wake, who I know and I've seen is capable of absolutely ripping Taupo a new one. So and the surroundings and a lot of the holes will be very familiar to him. Saying that, though, it's such a stacked field. So it's going to take, the winner is going to be someone who puts together 3 very good rounds. If someone even has a slip for, you know, 6 or 7 holes, that's probably tournament over. I don't think there's going to be very much room for error at the top.
No, there's absolutely not. I kind of wish I knew the course. I've never played there, so I don't have quite enough insight.
It has changed.
How it all could play out hole by hole.
It's changed a bit since I played there, or rather, they're playing a different layout. They've got 36 baskets on this property, so they've got plenty of options. And so, yeah, it's actually more than that, 45, I think. For someone in chat, let me know that some ludicrous number of baskets on the property. And yeah, so they'll have plenty. They've got plenty of options there. And the feature card: Corey Ellis, Nate Perkins, Jackson Sullivan, and Levi Stout teeing off at 2:00 on Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, even. So make sure that you're following that if you're not there or playing. In FPO, this is really a battle of some of the best players in New Zealand. Victoria Speller's one of the best players in the country. So's Nicholas Stout. Michaela Kerr has been playing very well recently. They're up against Juliana and Zoe. What do you think is going to happen here?
I don't see a way that Juliana Korver doesn't win.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think I agree.
And that's not even going based off of ratings. It is and it isn't. I just don't see a way where anyone actually gets around her. And I'd love to see Victoria get up there and get the job done. But
let's just sum her up: 5-time world champion. And if she wins in Taupo, that'll be her 250th PDGA win. And also, I think I can share this. She'll be on the show next week. So if you want to hear a bit more from Juliana, then she'll be joining us on the show next week with her husband Jim Oates, who is competing in MP40. Let's have a quick look at the MP40 division. This is a stacked field, right? MP40. I'm looking down this, and players who I know to be very good players, right, are going to be very much up against it this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, man,
Trevor Harbold is capable of shooting some very good golf, as his rating suggests.
Yeah, clearly.
Mark Dakiv, though, has played very well when he competes, and he's always there and there or thereabouts. Then you've got Jim Oates, who's just to give you an idea, Jim Oates in his career has got over $145,000 prize money, right? Which is just ludicrous. Playing a long time.
That this week.
Indeed. And then you've got people like Joe Seebeck, Mikey Yu, Jung Ha, who we all know can play very well and do a job on the day. So, yeah, look, MP40 is going to be a fascinating division to keep.
I see Anthony Rogers in MP40. His name is there, isn't it? Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
I see Anthony Rogers finding his way onto the podium this weekend.
Yeah, okay.
Call that one out right now. I can see that happening.
Yeah, I'll be cheering on the general Jung Ha. He will be who I'll be rooting for this weekend. And so yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Down to MA1. These are some more familiar names. There's a lot of, this is a stacked field as well, but Luke Hempel's got to be favourite, right?
Surely.
I mean, he's coming off the bat. He won Auckland champs, I think, late last year. A couple of other wins. Josh Pratt's been playing well. Luke Humphreys. That's not the Luke Humphreys that will be here later on in the tour. That's a different Luke Humphreys. But
sandbagging away, but you'd think.
Yeah, indeed, and let's not forget Johnny Wake's uncle Ben Morrison, who's got every chance of performing very well as well. So it's this absolutely stacked field. This down to FA1, Kath Headley playing in FA1. I don't think there's a ladies' masters division. I suspect not, which is the reason why she's in there and why Nicola's playing FPO. But yeah, this is going to be. I think this will be between Charlotte and Kath, and honestly, I think there's a battle to be had. I think Kath played very well around Taupo last time she played. So yeah, we'll see. MA40, the best division. Is it Hayden Shaw's to lose?
Well, it seems that way currently, doesn't it?
It certainly does. I'll be cheering on Brett Carlisle and Phil McLeod from Wellington, both Wellingtonians.
I mean, hey, I tell you what, a sneaky Brendan Love in there. It's a name I don't actually see too much, and I've played with Brendan, and he can shoot very hot.
Yeah,
on any given day.
All right. Well, we shall see what happens there. And MA2 Ty Engelke's been playing very well recently. I know he's got some fans in the chat that will be cheering him on. Callum Petman, however, is his home course and does put some good rounds together on the hot scores pretty often. Let's just have a quick look also this weekend at the Seafarer, which is occurring down in Dunedin this weekend.
Big old Southland crew down there for that one.
There is slightly smaller field, however, no less competitive. Ethan Stout's got he's got to take this out, hasn't he?
There we go. I hadn't. Only just got to the page now. Yeah, you'd hope so. You would hope so. But Andrew Fleming, I mean, I've seen him play some good golf in the last couple of weeks too. But yeah, it's got to be Ethan. Ethan's been second best to his brother for the last little while now, tournament-wise, and surely this is his for the taking.
Yeah. Megan and Echo go head-to-head in Dunedin, and it'll be interesting to see if Echo can take Megan on. I think Megan beat her last time. They went head-to-head. MP40 is going to be another close division, although Tom McKay's got to be favourite here. I would have thought local Dunedinite.
Surely, but like, who in their right mind would ever write off Dom the Silver Fox Hayden? Who?
Few would.
Who would be silly enough? Not this guy.
In MA1, Cooper Solis has got quite a high ratings lead over Norman Tudor, and so finds himself favourite going into MA1. And in FA1, it's incredibly close between the four ladies, who will have an absolute fantastic battle on their hands, I'm sure.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is tight.
Stuart Gilchrist could be favourite going into MA40. I seem to remember he won. I think he won down in.
Has he won
Smash?
He won Tuckers as well. Tuckers.
No, he won 40. Yeah, he also won the Smash. I think, was it the Smash last
this
year?
Weekend just been.
He won. So say that again.
So he won Tuckers, which I'm saying MA40.
Yep.
Did he win the Smash this weekend just been, or have I absolutely let that fly over my head?
No, sorry, I'm thinking about last year, and I got it wrong. He came third. But yeah, I don't know how I got that wrong. Sorry, Stuart. Finally, FA40. Again, very tight division between Sue Brown, Nina Duckles, and Marie Cummings. In MA50, quite a big division. This division's getting some look-ins here, eh? Ed Waddington probably going into this favourite, although he'll be up against local Wayne Brown.
I reckon Mark Tebbett will be up there too.
Oh, you reckon?
He's been pressing that top 3 for the last couple of weeks here, and I reckon he's ready for a podium spot.
Excellent. And some packed divisions. Don't often see an MA4 division. So very good. Some very close battles all over the place there.
And simply based off of what we've seen in previous years from the Dunedin crew, that they are about to put on an absolute show as well.
Yeah.
Those guys know how to run a hell of a tournament.
They do. The Heislander was always a fantastic. I was so pleased I got to go and play a couple of years back. I played with you, Morgan.
Did play with me.
Probably the first time I played with you on that round. But yeah, anyway, right. Let's get on with the draw, shall we, for our giveaway this week for the Gatekeeper prototype and your Generation Disc Golf shirt. So any last minute entries? I think I've got everyone.
Well, guys, anyone in the chat that hasn't typed smash into the chat?
If there's anyone in the chat who hasn't typed smash, you've got about a couple of seconds to do it. If you haven't already done it, then yeah, you've got a couple of minutes to do it. Let me just see if I can get the wheel of names. There it is.
Right, smash, Matt Tebbett, smash.
Matt Tebbett. Let me just put these into right. So Anthony Gilbert tried his luck with twice, so we'll take one of his out. Is there anyone else who's put their name in twice? There's Mark Tebbett and a Matt Tebbett.
Yep.
So there we go. So I'll just change that. Ryan.
Right, let's go myself. I need a new hoodie. A new t-shirt.
So we'll shuffle the names up a little bit. And so this is the first draw is for the Gatekeeper. Okay, you can't win both. So if your name gets drawn out to win the Gatekeeper, then it'll
be removed.
It'll be removed, and then you won't be in the draw to win the shirt. However, we'll get this across to you as quickly as we can. So here we go. Are you ready? Okay. Here we go. Here's the draw. This is
and while it's spinning, Matt Tebbett. Hey, I don't want to be my dad. I like my hair. Rough chat.
This is a prototype Gatekeeper, and it's Ben Cornell who wins the Gatekeeper. So congratulations, Ben. Just hit us up in the messages in the DMs, and we'll work out getting this to you.
Yep. On the Sweet Chain Facebook page and message them there.
And finally, we've got the shirt from Morgan. So here we go. And the winner here is Megan Gray. So congratulations to Ben and Megan.
Congratulations, Megan. Send me a message at Generation Disc Golf, please, on our Facebook page, and I'll get you sorted.
Yeah, make sure that you do, and we'll get that all sorted out. And so looking flash in your Generation Disc Golf shirts. Anyway, right. I think that's about it. Oh, actually, there's one more thing, and to mention, and this is real cool, actually. So let me just find the details of it.
While Matt's doing that, guys, I am on day 10 of cold plunging, and I would like to challenge each and every one of you to go and get in a cold body of water and send me a DM. Actually, in fact, you know what? Here we go. Here's another giveaway for next week. I'm feeling generous. Anyone that sends me a picture of them in a cold lake or a cold plunge this week, we're going to do another wheel next week. We're giving something else away. Let's go.
Wow. Okay, there you go. So send them through to, you can either message Sweet Chain or message Generation Disc Golf with your video, and we'll share them. So make sure that they're shareable.
Yeah.
And yeah, that'll put you in the draw to win something
else. Cold
week.
Water.
Got to be cold water. Okay. Well, we'll see what we can do. One more thing to mention, right? A couple of weeks ago, we had Tom Strawbridge on the show.
Yes.
And he's told us that the next, what was he was doing the next treasure hunt, right? It starts tomorrow. So let's just have a look. the next treasure hunt is hitting Jelly Park on Saturday. All right, so it drops at midday on Saturday. Is when the clue's going to come out. So keep an eye on your social media. Midday on Saturday is when the clue's coming, and then that's when the treasure hunt starts. Okay, and it's hitting Jelly Park. So if you're around Jelly Park on there, then on Saturday, then you could pick yourself up a starter pack. Once the starter pack is found, the treasure hunt continues the whole week, with there being a 15% discount code that ends the DSS at the end of the hunt for those that miss out on the starter pack. So even if you don't aren't the first person there, my understanding is that if you find the thing via the clue, you'll get yourself a discount down at NZ DSS. Pop into their store at the was it the Bush Inn shopping
Bush Inn Mall, yeah.
And go and see Susie, and she'll sort you out. Right. Right. I think that's about it for
what a show, man. What a
today. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And remember, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the channel out, especially, and it also helps you out because we get even closer to our next giveaway, which will be on 350 subs. We've made a few up today to get closer to that target. So see you then. As I said, next week we've got Juliana Corva and Jim Oates on the show, and we'll be talking to them about their trip around New Zealand, their recent trip to Hawaii, Juliana's 5 world championships, and lots of other things. So if you've got any questions for Juliana, make sure you send them through during the week and we'll get them across. Very best of luck to everybody who's playing in A Midsummer's Dream, Seafarer, and the Tour Down Under's Taupo Classic this weekend. But wherever you're playing disc golf, take it easy, play well, get some birdies, and we'll